Nana, thank you very much for joining us on New Day this morning.
Thank you.
Is this your first time on New Day?
Yes.
Oh, it is. Okay, Akwaba. Right. Just walk me through, going to the place to shine the light on a practice like Chokosi that people actually think, should have been abolished by now. How was the journey like for you?
It wasn't easy. We arrived in Ho on Friday night. Then we decided to go to Kliko. Before Kliko, there's Apiwa, then Kliko, then Agbozoma.
Apiwa.
Yes, Apiwa.
Okay.
Then you go to Agbozoma. But we understand even in Apiwa there is a shrine there as well. But we're told to go to Kliko. I mean, although there's Nogopo near or in Agbozoma.
Okay.
Then we went to Kliko then. But when we were going, we thought probably, because the news we heard before then was, look, they are in bush, a very big bush, some forest,
shrine.
I should say, forest, and the people are not wearing anything, they are naked. And I said, no, let's go find out. There was curiosity as well to also find out whether the Trokoshi is still ongoing, because it was outlawed in 1998, we understand.
Sure.
So we said, no, let's go find out. So we entered and we realized it was in a community, a normal community where people are. You understand?
Right. Just hang on a bit, and just in case you're wondering what we're talking about, the Trokoshi, is when the community, picks a young girl and gives it to a shrine to sort of appease the gods for some punishment or a crime that the family may have committed or somebody in the family may have committed.
Yeah,
correct?
Exactly.
All right. So continue. Where
we went there. When we went there, we were surprised to see that the normal people. I mean, we didn't see people not wearing clothes, although most of the women were not in they were just clothes.
They were topless.
Topless, sort of. But they are covered their excuse me, breast. Now, so we went there, we're curious. So we said, no, let's go to the shrine to talk to the people to find out more about it. So we're led to the place by a young chap we met. And then when we went there, we got there with a camera and they said, no. They were very, very strict on us. No, don't come there with a camera. But before you even get to the priest, you have to remove or take off your shirt.
And you took off your clothes?
I did that. I had to because I needed a story.
And you respected tradition as well?
I respected tradition as well.
We'll talk about the misconceptions, but let's just watch the story that Nana Kweku Ejia put together on Trokoshi.
You're saying is that's a traditional one of the priests. I mean, they have 3 shrines there, and this is the male shrine, and the man he just saw, and this I spoke to.
That's you.
Yes, speaking to this. She's 16.
Yeah.
And she was just brought about 2 weeks ago.
For what?
To atone for somebody's sins. She said the uncle.
What did the uncle do?
The uncle, I think the uncle stole somebody's money.
Oh.
And then he couldn't pay, and then she has to come and atone for that sin. I mean, when you come there, they would have to, if you don't have money to pay, they would have to pay for you. Then they ask you to pay back. If you're not able to pay back. But
why so much interest on the young girls, the virgins?
That's what they're saying. They'll tell you that the gods want the virgins. They call them Jishire or so. That's the name they call them. And they say, look, the gods want a virgin. But according to them, it's not dehumanizing. It's not disrespecting the right of the girls.
Yeah, but how are they treating the girls? I think a lot of people are concerned about how you can take a young girl from her place of comfort and take her to a shrine like that and say she should serve for somebody's crime.
What they told me was there's a ritual. This first one, you come in, they do a ritual for you, you go back, they bring you back for the second ritual.
Okay.
But I asked that question, what exactly is the ritual? They said you come and they pray for you, probably there's a problem with your family, or I said no, I don't get that one. What exactly it is that they said no, they don't keep them like people think.
But did you see anybody who has been chained?
No, I didn't see anybody who was chained. They rather train them, they go to school if they want to. Unlike the previous, what I liked was that they don't even allow them go to school, they don't allow them do anything, they are confined in a house. So what they did was they took me around to see whether I could see any lady who has been confined or chained in any way. I didn't see that.
But Nana, could it also be that maybe it's changed? as time went on, because
yes,
for instance, if you pick the girl and you put the girl there and the girl wants to run away, you probably might change them, because those stories, there could be some truth in those stories that we heard.
Things have changed. They've refined the tradition. They've modernized it, I should say, because the girls, I asked the one lady, the lady just saw, I asked her whether, are you comfortable here? Initially, she didn't want to answer. Then she answered.
What did she say?
She said yes, because she was just brought in. Initially, when you come to a new place, you wouldn't be happy. It's natural, but gradually she would be. And I asked her whether she was attending. She told me no. They are now going to look for a school for in that vicinity for her.
Did she look like she was talking under duress? I mean, somebody had told her to say. Did you think that
it wasn't easy getting an interview in the first place? It was, like I said, I was telling you what we went through. It took us 3 days to negotiate that, and it took us as well 2 hours to get interview. Even when they had agreed we come on Monday, it took us 2 hours to get, because according to them, journalists come there, they insinuate, they insult them, they castigate them, you know, they say a whole lot of things about the tradition.
All right. So has it changed your perception on it? Do you think that it's something that should continue?
I think it should. I'm not saying they should
what it stands for.
What it stands for is okay. If what they told me is true, that they train them to be good girls, to not to do anything bad in society, to become good in society, fine. But I think it should be modernized. If they are really confined and they don't go to their families, they don't return to their families. But what I saw, what they told me was, look, so
where is this uncle who went to steal, and this innocent young girl had to go and
Bridget, it's nowhere to be found. It's nowhere to be found.
So is it for people who run away from their sins? Yeah, and then they come in and pick somebody else who is present? Is that how it works?
It looks like it. It's either you atone for the sin yourself by paying whatever thing you stole or whatever wrong you did, or you have to bring somebody, and the person should be a young girl who is a virgin. And it's interesting.
Did they test them to know whether they're virgin?
I asked the girl.
Yeah.
A very interesting question.
She's sexually active. What did you ask? I'm interested.
I asked her whether she was a virgin, or she is a virgin or not. She said no. And I asked her whether she broke her virginity outside the shrine or within. And she said outside. But she paused a bit, because, Bridget, while I was doing this interview with this lady, people were behind her. You know, I mean, people were like monitoring exactly what I was asking her, whether she would say something contrary to what is happening there.
Okay.
You understand?
Nana, you're a Christian, right?
I am.
And you had to go through a certain tradition.
Yes.
I mean, you've gone to a town, so you had to succumb to what they believe in. What did that do to you? It wasn't easy initially. It was, but I had to, as a Christian, I had to pray and let God know. You had to do this for your job. I had to do that for my job. Because you had to bow. And according to them, when you bow, you say a prayer to the gods. Honestly, I didn't say any prayer. I had to bow. Yes, I didn't, because I didn't believe in the tradition, although that's their tradition, but I have my belief. But I had to do it for my job. It takes a lot to go through to get some of these things. Did you sleep that night?
I did, but I had to move. We moved to Ho to go sleep. You know.
Is it a heavy place? Is it, you know, or is all, you know, the caricature has been created in our minds? So, you know, when you're going, you have a certain perception. You get then it's not like that. Is that how?
Yes, there is a perception. Obviously, I mean, we heard a lot of things. Like I told you, they were in forest. The women. I mean, you could see corpses all over, and they told me nothing like that. Yes, you could. When you die, according to what we heard before, when you die, they would not take
Ghanaians
you.
Making up stories.
Yes, you know, they won't take you to your family. The shrine will have to bury you themselves, and the burying is just putting you in the forest for you to decay. You understand? So I asked those questions. They told me no, I didn't see anything like that. But the perception was that, look, when you're going there, hey, the big thing, you have to be afraid. But I didn't see anything like that. But it was rather and interestingly, in one of the shrines, there was television there, and I watched TV, and there was nobody there. You could see the gods there, and I was wondering whether the gods also were TV.
But so, don't the girls want to be free? Don't they want to be free?
They would be, but a lot of them don't even know why
they are there.
They are there in the first place. Like this.
But that's where the problem. That's where human rights activists have a challenge.
They have a challenge. But that's like I'm saying. They said they've been investigated, according to elders there, they've been investigated. There were some who were not doing it properly, and those investigated were registered and gazetted. So they are known to our authorities that they are doing the right things for the girls, to train them. And also people come there for prayers. I mean, people come from all over the country, even West Africa, for prayers. If your job is not successful. Yeah, they call it prayers. You bring in some drinks and some money. And people have criticized them that they use that one to dupe people as like a business they're running to make money. And it is this is the first part of a story.
There's another
which talks about those things, actually the prayers and other stuff in there.
I have learned a lot, and I have been enlightened as well. And then my mind is at ease now, you know, watching and listening to you. And he's back. So sometimes, you know, a lot of stories that we hear may not be true. There could be some truth in there. Maybe in the past, perhaps they were doing it. Right. So you can share, you know, what you think of, you know, what Nana Kwekwe covered with us on all our social media platforms. New Day on TV3, at New Day on TV3. There's a part 2 to the story which will be aired on News 361.
By Wednesday or probably Saturday.
Saturday. I probably would look forward to it on Saturday. You see, I've just you know, sort of coined him to move it to Saturday. But Nana Kwekwe, thank you very much for joining us. Absolutely love your stories. You know, you bring an element to the stories that sometimes, you know, we don't see in other stories, and sometimes, you know, the politics sort of clamor the space. So thank you.